Why is Hex better than Bitcoin? Well, first of all, it's the fundamentals of code. The fundamentals of code is better than Bitcoin's. Inflation model is better than inflation. The staking feature is better than a mining feature. It's new tech versus old tech. Decentralized versus centralized. Yes, all of those things. Ahoy, crypto pirates, Hexicans. Welcome to Chatting with the Captain. I'm your captain, the Captain RG3, bringing you a special edition Chatting with the Captain. I know tonight's effing hangout night, the Friday night hangout where you guys get to talk. We're still going to do that. Want to let you all know effing hangout's still on. And I'm sure it's going to be real exciting tonight after this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the #1 YouTuber in all of crypto, the first guy to get to like 1 million subscribers out there tearing it up in the crypto space, Ben Armstrong, has been creeping around the docks, around the Hexican ships. And he's never been an enemy. He's said some nice things about Richard, appears to be as close to him as some of us are as far as friendship and whatnot. Has never really had anything ill to say. But at times he backed off when we needed him most. At times he said less when he should have said more. And those of us who've been around for a while from the beginning, that have been working really, really hard, felt dusted by that. I explain it this way. You know, I was Marine, and out in the field, if you're a field Marine like I was a grunt, just an 0311, running around with a backpack and some boots and a gun. When you are being pinned down by the enemy, you're being beaten back, you're being tore up, and that freaking helo comes flying in. That Cobra, that bad motherfucker comes in. You just feel relief. Like, here it comes, man. Here comes the relief. And it comes in and it sets the enemy on fire, sets them back, and gives you that, that motivation to get back out there and do what you got to do. No matter how tired you are, how hurt you are, no matter how many men you love, you want to get back out there and do it because they motivated you and they're there for you and they're taking care of business. And you can go take that hill. Well, at times it seemed like that helicopter come flying over. Ben fired a shot and then he was gone to the winds. And we were still left there getting beat back by the enemy. Because let's face it, this is something I want to tell you guys. And I don't speak for the whole Hexican community. In no way do I speak for the Hexican community. I speak for me, those people who have shared their sentiments with me, those that were in the trenches with me from the beginning. And here's what's happened to all of us. So first of all, we're in crypto. So our friends, our family, our neighbors, our brothers, our sisters, all shun us for being in crypto, right? So we've got that first. So first we've got to deal with that shit, our wives and girlfriends and all that. Then we come into the space. And here's the unique thing about Hexicans. Those of us who have been around, I've been around since 2014 as far as investing in crypto, being around crypto, and in every mess that you can imagine. So for those of us who've been around a while, we learned a lot. And we know what we wanted. We wanted decentralization. We wanted people to give us freaking wallet addresses with cryptos that can go into them. We wanted people that didn't custody our stuff. We wanted real DeFi. That was the tenet of crypto. And we watched that erode. As soon as Satoshi's white paper was done and Ethereum came out and all the shit coins came, that was it. We lost the fucking war. Crypto was bullshit after that. And most of us wanted to leave. In 2017, I wanted out of the son of a bitch. I was done with all the scams and the BitConnects and the freaking, you name it. It was a mess. And then a voice out of the freaking darkness, Richard, calls the top, and we were all pissed because the top was there and this and that. But you know what? The guy called the top, so we thought maybe this sucker's freaking really smart, right? So we start listening to him. I started listening to him. And he said, guys, I know you're tired of this shit. I'm going to do what's right. I'm going to bring real DeFi, and here it is. And he called it Bitcoin Hex. Then it turned into just Hex because the maxis were fucking outraged with the whole thing. So we jumped on it. We said, hey, guys, this is true DeFi. We know it. We read the code. I wasn't a code reader, but all the people around me, the smart motherfuckers that were coming to Hex, the best in crypto came to Hex. I saw it. I listened to them. They spoke like nobody else in crypto did in all the Telegram chats. And I was like, these people get it. They know what's going on. And Richard's really doing it. And so I turned on the YouTube button and said, let's showcase all these people. Let's get them out there. And we did. And then what happened? Not only were we banged on by our family, not only we were banged on by shitty crypto, but we got banged on by everybody else that was out there. Nobody listened to us. They called us scammers. They called us fucking cult members. They called us up Richard's ass. They called us all that shit while we were trying to teach them what real DeFi was. But they wouldn't listen to us. The crazy pirate guy and the fucking doctor. No, they won't listen to us. They were right. All the people getting paid to show bullshit on top of your heads were the ones that you were listening to. And we were the scammers. When you Googled us, we were the fucking scammers. Richard Hart, oh, he's the spam king. So we got tough and we said, fuck all of you. Come at us. And our community grew and got stronger and smarter. And we built better shit. And then Richard said, I'm going to help you guys out. I'm going to build a fucking chain for you. Here you go. The most decentralized chain. 50,000 plus validators already. No problems. Hex, 4 years, still running. No downtime. Best everything. Do they come to us yet? No. Not yet. The top of the heap, no. And then all of a sudden, out of the fucking smoke, the number one guy in all of crypto YouTube gets blasted. Company gets stolen out from under him. Problems all over the place. You name it. From personal problems, legal problems, business problems, crypto problems, everybody coming at him. One thing after another he talks about gets rug pulled or hurts people. He has to do his thing out there and try and make it all work. Goes after Sam when Sam screwed up and screwed everybody over. So this guy goes out there and he's having a hard time. Number one YouTuber. And now that the smoke is cleared from all of his issues, he wants to come over here and make good with the Hexkins. Why? Well, that's the question, and we're going to ask some of those questions. Now, I'm telling you guys here right now, I don't give a shit about what's happened to Ben in his personal life. I don't give a shit about any of his problems with his legal issues and his businesses and all that. That's to be worked out somewhere else. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here because I care about this community because I helped build it from the ground fucking up. That's why I'm here. I'm here because I'm here to give you guys information. I'm here because I'm trying to get us looked at, to get as many eyes on this as possible. Because when people see it for real, finally listen to us and what we're saying and take us seriously, they realize it. And I'm starting to hear that in this person. I'm starting to hear him say these things. I'm not asking him to come in here and lick our boots. I'm not asking him to come in here and be a Hexagon. I want to ask him what's going on out there. What's the sentiment and why is he here now? So that we can all get a better idea of what's going on. I know that some of you like Ben and always have liked Ben, and you follow him and you're diehard fans of his too, as Hexagons. Some of you are indifferent. And some of you absolutely fucking hate him, and you're going to come at me because I even have him on the show. You've already told me that. I know. And you know I love you guys anyway. My dirtiest of dirty Hexagon pirates, I need you and I love you. But you know what? I'm not going to listen to you because I know diplomacy I know how to talk to people. I understand what this is worth to all of us in crypto. Remember, the reason we're here, the reason we're doing what we do, the reason that I give my family's time, my money, my shit away for free is because to whom much is given, much is expected. And I want the whole world to know about DeFi. And if this guy is true, dyed in the wool, wants to repent for maybe not helping us out and call for more fire and backup and bring it to the enemy, then I want to make sure that we know who he really is and we ally with him, or he makes his own way here. All right, without any more time, I don't want to waste our guests' time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Hexicans and pirates, Ben Armstrong. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Yeah. Just did a stream a little bit ago with Corey Costa. That went very well. I had a video earlier made about Hex, and decided to be here and talk about what's going on.
Right on. Well,
yeah.
You know what? Let's find out a little bit about Ben. Mm-hmm. Me anyway. I need to find out about you because I want to ask some questions, but I want to put it in perspective.
Sure.
Tell me about your crypto journey. What brought you into crypto? Why did you even get involved? And what was your idea of what it should be? Just give me your kind of core why you're here in crypto.
Yeah. So this is my 12th year in crypto. I bought Bitcoin first in 2012. First Bitcoin I bought was, I think, $11.96. I spent $450. I got 37.5 Bitcoin and didn't keep it, sold it all. I needed it for a software. I was buying it for a software for a company. It's a long story. But that's how I kind of stumbled into all this. And I sold in 2013. I had some Bitcoin left in that account and it shot up. Obviously, it was the 2013 bull run. I didn't know that at the time. All I know is I just went and looked at my account one day and it was like I had maybe $100 in there, and all of a sudden it was worth, I think $2,100. I ended up selling it, I think, for $1,700. It was five Bitcoin, 4.5 Bitcoin. There used to be a website. I mean, it still exists, I think, localbitcoins.com. It's peer-to-peer Bitcoin exchanging. Back then, there was no KYC, and it was just a message board. And so I met a guy in McDonald's, over the Wi-Fi. I sold him 4.5 Bitcoin and took my family on vacation. So obviously, even if I would have held it, I would have lost it because it was on Mt. Gox. So I do have a Mt. Gox claim, but I'm not pursuing it because it's only worth like maybe $1,000, and they make you jump through too many hoops for it. Mm-hmm. So they can keep my remaining Bitcoin dust. But I go way back in crypto. I wasn't super interested in crypto when I first got in. I was in to buy it for a software. I didn't even look at it as an investment. I never imagined it would be what it is today. But 2014, 2015, I bought it here a little bit, sold it there a little bit, just when it would make kind of big moves. And just trying to make not thinking as a long-term, just make a couple $100 and get out. And then 2016, started hearing a little bit more about it again. And 2017, obviously, the bull run started. And the halving occurred in 2016. The bull run started paying a little bit more attention in 2017. And I guess over the summer of 2017, I really was like, man, I effed up big time. Like Bitcoin was like $10,000, I think, or maybe even 4,000, whatever it was at the time. And I was like, holy smokes, I could add so much of this. And then it ended up going all the way up to 20. But when Bitcoin, when XRP was the first altcoin I bought, XRP and then Litecoin, XRP, I use this thing called the Toast wallet, I believe, and I bought it through Changelly, and that's when I started getting interested in altcoins and I got into Litecoin, and then by the end of 2017, I was degenerating on everything, and I was like, I started realizing, what you were talking about, decentralization. I fell in love with crypto because of decentralization. When I read something about from Vitalik talking about what that really meant, and thinking about how the software that I had to buy. With Bitcoin, it was for a Craigslist auto poster. I posted ads on Craigslist. I sold concert and event tickets. At one point, frontpagetickets.com was my site. And at one point, I was 1% of all Craigslist ads. I was posting like 800,000 ads a day. And based on their numbers, that's what I was doing. And so the thing is that through that software, that's how I ended up getting into Bitcoin, because the guy had his payment processors taken by the United States. And I was like, that's kind of effed up. They just kind of take this guy's whole website, and I need this. And he was like, hey, don't worry about it. We'll figure something out. So 6 months later, he comes, he's like, hey, here's what we're going to do. And that's where I first discovered Bitcoin. But the thing was, the whole Craigslist. So I posted a lot of ads on Craigslist. Craigslist made one change overnight without telling anyone, and it destroyed my entire business model. Basically, my income got cut in half, 50% year over year until I closed the business down in 2019. I started in 2011. And I had no recourse. There's nothing I could do. They just changed it. I'm posting more ads than anybody on there. I get no say so. And all of a sudden, my business is pulled out from under me. And when I started understanding what decentralization was about, like, that's why I really got into this. I started my channel as a animated cartoon series it was supposed to be called BitBoy and Hodl. And I just wanted to do kind of some fun stuff to start conversations in crypto and get people like educated, because I was really getting interested in this stuff. I didn't know I didn't know anything about crypto when I started my YouTube channel. February 2018, being serious, like I thought I knew stuff. I knew a little bit, but I couldn't even fill like the nail bed of my pinky with the information I know about crypto now compared to when I started my channel. And I just wanted an outlet to get and talk about crypto. And obviously, there was an upside eventually. I figured out how much money the YouTubers made. I didn't realize it at first. And so definitely, we did well on the channel and made a lot of money over the years. But the first 2.5 years, 3 years, nobody watched my channel and nobody cared. There's a lot of OGs that knew that I was around back then, but not many people. Almost everybody I talked to, hardly anyone ever do I meet. And they're like, oh, I was in before you even had 100,000 subscribers. And look, I had 10,000 subscribers after 2.5 years. And so, I worked really hard to build everything, but that's kind of the genesis of how I got into crypto. And then just kind of, 2017 was like, I need to pull this back to me because it was a great opportunity and I thought I missed it. Unfortunately, I was able to do that. And then, everything got rugged from me recently, but we're going to get everything back. And, I'm not too concerned about all this stuff. I love Cassie a lot. People know about her and, our life's pretty good.
Yeah. So you say, you fell in love with the idea of decentralization. And then you say things like XRP, the XRP community. And what is your idea of real decentralization then?
Well, look, I think that there's different look, okay, if I talk Buterin, like, I'm not sure if he's a good person or not, right? I'm not sure what I think about the ETH Foundation. I'm not sure what I think about a lot of the stuff around ETHgate, specifically involving Vitalik. But what I will say is I love what he says about decentralization. It's true. It's a continuum, and there's different types of decentralization. There's a very famous Medium post that he made about it, and he shows these different diagrams, and it makes perfect sense. What I want for the world is a decentralized network where there's no single point of failure, and to where we can all transact, and there's not people who can control it. Okay. Yeah.
But wanting decentralization and doing decentralization are two different things. And you and I both know that Ethereum is not proving to be the bastion of decentralization.
I would.
Yeah, Vitalik can say all he wants.
Yeah,
he can shout at the rooftops. Yeah. But if he's not actually doing it, if he still has mining pools, if he still hasn't
right, well, that's a different
version that he promised, then we're not talking about decentralization. We're talking about centralization still. So we have to find things that are decentralized. Is that not true?
Well, like I said, it's a continuum. So, right, we're finding out there are some problems with Ethereum. I think mostly just around the way the network was set up and the scalability is their main problem. I don't think it's scalable.
It's a little deeper than that as far as, why do we still have a mining algorithm out there? Why do we not have all of the upgrades that it should have up there? Why hasn't it scaled properly? Why are we still sitting? I think it's because
they don't know what they're doing. I think that's a problem. I think very clearly they set it up in the beginning to make money with the ICO. And it was a pipe dream to actually do it. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh crap, we got to do this. There it was. And they had to figure out how to maneuver it. And so I think the Ethereum Foundation, it looks like there was a lot of, some sketchy stuff going on. But you got to understand, like, that stuff just now is kind of coming out. That stuff we didn't know even 2.5 years ago. That stuff came out because of the XRP army finding that stuff.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to decentralization, this community here is on the cutting edge of decentralization.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
And we've been shouting at the rooftops for 4 years straight now. And still, we're not getting the recognition or the attention that I think this community deserves. We're still looked at as, a ship of fools. And I want to ask your opinion on that and how you feel and what you're seeing out there. I mean, be open and honest with it, because here's the thing the community is looking at right now. So you've said, hey, I'm coming into this community with open arms. You've already streamed with a couple of guys, but show me who Ben is. Show me what is going on behind the scenes. What are they saying about us? And what's real? What is your opinion of that? And expose it and tell us.
Yeah. So I just put a poll on Twitter a little bit ago, rex.com, asking to all of my followers and anyone who shares it, is Hex a legit project? Because I am curious. Because I'm not getting a lot of pushback on this. And this is what I've been trying to tell the Hex people. Now that I've kind of got on this and given him my stamp of approval, and I'm making bold statements, I will tell you something very strong here. One of my most impactful things, one of the things I'm the most proud of my influence, is that when I come out and make opinions on something, strong opinions, other people are forced to have opinions on my opinion. And so actually, even by me coming out and making this bold stand about Hex, you're going to see other influencers be forced to make decisions and make statements and say they either agree with me or they don't agree with me. And so I think that the Hex community at this point, I think the PulseChain obviously included it on that. Now, I'd have to check on the poll. And actually, let me just kind of check and see, because I was 30 minutes in. I would like to actually see real quick how that poll is going now before I'm talking about that. It is, here it is. Let's see. Right now it's 53.3%. Yes, it is legit, to 46.7%. It was right at 50-50. I think the Hex community has been really kicked, like you said, which I can relate to, obviously. Especially the thing of people calling Richard a scammer. He's not a scammer. Trust me, nobody gets me that. I've probably been called a scammer more than him, to be honest with you. And
I doubt it, but okay.
Yeah, he kind of comes and goes and waves in his popularity in the mainstream. I tend to stay there a little bit more. I think he does that intentionally, but the point is, no, we both get that. We both understand that, what that's like to be, misunderstood, and all that. So, I think that what I'm trying to say here is, you guys have been kicked so much. I think the kicking has stopped. I think it has stopped. It's not completely over. Sure, there's still people out there. I'm not seeing a reaction to you guys like I did before. And I think that now that I'm putting a spotlight on it, and people are going to be forced to kind of make some decisions, you're going to see a lot more people say, yeah, we got to give him his due. We were wrong. Or at least a lot of people probably come out and say, I am right now bold enough to say it's wrong. Hex is a legit project. It is not a scam. I'm willing to say it. What you're going to see a lot of people come out and say is, well, you got to give him credit. At this point, it looks like maybe it's legit. That's what I think you're going to see a lot of people say. Because people are just going to have to eat their words. There's a lot of people, and that's one thing that I'm very proud of, because you're right. When you introed me, I've been a friend. I've been neutral on the project, but I've been a friend to Richard. I've been a friend to the community. I was not the beacon shining knight you guys needed me to be at one time, and I'm sorry for that. And people see there was some stuff in my building going on that's related to that. Some people are saying on YouTube and things. But I'm very proud that I never called it a scam one time. I always gave Richard a platform because I believe in open information, and it was at least credible enough to me to give him that platform. But you're right, it didn't give it the vote of confidence or anything. But I'm very proud that I don't have to eat any words that I said about Hex. And that's a hard pill to swallow when you absolutely unequivocally call something a scam. And you got to come out and say, guys, I was wrong about that. It's actually legit. That's a hard thing for people to do. It's much easier for people that didn't really come out and make strong opinions. Wendy was one who didn't make strong opinions. And I don't know if she's pro Hex, but she's Hex friendly for sure. I just don't know that about her. I don't know what her opinion is for sure. But and there's some, I think I haven't said some.
And you know what, Ben? I don't even think that this community wanted you guys to shill, wanted you guys to be pro Hex, wanted you guys to be Hexicans.
Just treat it like it's normal.
We wanted to be treated normal. We wanted to see you guys with a chart talking about Hex behind it.
Yeah.
You guys talking about our pumps. You guys talking about our new projects coming out. And let's not forget, Hex is a product, not a project. It's finished.
Yeah.
It's done. You cannot change it. It is like Bitcoin, only better. And that's my tour, better than Bitcoin. But it wasn't that we want you guys to lick our boots. We wanted acknowledgement. We wanted to be part of the crypto community. We wanted people to listen to what we had to say, because we were over here spitting out a spleen in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
And just arrows and bullets and everything else coming from all around us. And we were the ones that were right all along. Yeah. We have our hands on true DeFi. Hex is the first truly decentralized crypto ever to hit the scene. And we wanted people to be as excited about it as we are versus calling us, cult members.
I mean, I can tell you, man, that stuff hits deep because I know those exact feelings. That's what I've been going through recently. Exactly like that. I feel like you're doing the right thing. Nobody will believe you. And you're being cast and called and painted in all kinds of ways that you're not. And it sucks. And I acknowledge that. And certainly you're right. I could treat you guys like you're normal. I didn't. I did treat you guys like you were separate. I treated you guys the same way that CoinGecko treats you, except I was friendly to your founder. And you're right. It wasn't a hard ask. You guys, but you also have to understand this, okay? Mm-hmm. Is that I have been accused of being a scammer so many times. And let me just break that down very quickly. The reason that is because in the DeFi summer of 2020, I was on 4 years ago, I covered several projects. I think it was 4 projects over that summer. One was in December. It was from the summer to December, I believe, in 2020. I think I covered 4 projects in a sponsored fashion. I did disclose it. They were all acknowledged as sponsored videos. And those 4 projects all rug pulled. And it sucks. And I still carry.
I remember.
One of those projects, Distex, I gave back all of the money I had for the sponsorship. PAMP is the most famous one that people know because Atozi made a video, and then I sued Atozi, and I made the situation a zillion times worse because my lawyer left out the one actual claim that I wanted that was necessary, which was he said that I did not disclose it was a sponsored video. That's an SEC violation, and I wanted to pursue that. I wanted that part of the video taken out, and I would have been okay with it. But it turned into a situation where I was vilified and said to be a monster because I was small. I was suing this kid. And my lawyer didn't do it. I don't have this lawyer anymore. He didn't do a good job with the filing, period. And I was negligent because I didn't read it and I didn't see it. I just trusted him to do his job. So it led to this big thing with the PAMP. Real quick,
go ahead.
The PAMP was the one people know because that video blew up and everybody said I'm a scammer over it. It was a common scam at the time. They had an audited smart contract. My team saw it. After the video, they changed the smart contract. It was a new scam that was going on at the time. Then we did our due diligence on it, and they changed it. So that's why people call me a scammer all the time. It's like, oh, there's Zach XBT, but most of that stuff is is not actually accurate. Some of it is. I addressed the entire thing with 160 tweets one time. So I got nothing to hide. But I know what it's like to be called that and to have that label and not deserve it and they just be beaten over the head with it. And it sucks. There's nothing worse than that. And, over the years, I've just become callous to it because it happens so much. Mm-hmm. And that's one really cool thing about this Hex community, by the way, is they've really embraced me from what I've seen. And I really appreciate it. I love the community for that. But that's not why I started liking you guys, because I was embraced.
Well, let me explain something, because we're not the same. And here's what this might open your eyes up to something. So I'm obviously an influencer, a crypto influencer of some type. I wouldn't call myself an influencer. I've always just been kind of a community advocate. And that's the beautiful thing about what I have here. So I have never shilled a rug pull. Why? Because I've only ever shilled Hex. I don't even shill PulseChain and PulseX. Why? Because they haven't been proven yet. I knew when Hex was coming out, when the code was audited and it was secured and launched and everything was done, sealed, my devs looked at it and everybody was like, this thing's solid, man. Yeah. This is going to do what it says it's going to do. And it did. And it did it for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I have never had to pull a video, apologize,
Mm-hmm.
call a lawyer, hire an agent, none of that shit. This is all community organized, grassroots, real community DeFi. Real. We're fucking real, man. There isn't nothing phony about what we do. Nobody pays us. In fact, the SEC subpoenaed me to find out if Richard was paying me to do what I was doing.
Me too.
And they couldn't find anything. Mm-hmm. There's nothing here. Why? Because there's no data. Richard doesn't even say thank you to me.
That's funny. Come on, Richard.
Thank you. For 4 years, I've been spitting out a spleen here, going up against everybody and their mother and my own mother.
I love Richard.
And he did that for a reason. He protected us and let us be organic. And because of that, we've never had to take anything back we've ever said. And that's a beautiful fucking place to be, man. I sleep so good at night. Mm-hmm. I have no problems and I owe nobody anything. Nothing. Not you, not crypto, not this community, nobody. I feel fucking good about everything I've ever did. And that's the difference because, see, Hex is behind me. I've never had to do anything but stand in front of Hex and say, Hex is the fucking GOAT. Hex is true DeFi. You guys want to do this thing right? You want to get crypto right? Because this is the biggest transference of wealth the world has ever seen. I've never seen anything like this in my 56 years on this planet. Nothing. I've never seen anything that's capable of changing the world for so many people that are hurting right now. So many men out there like me. Look, dude, I was a guy that put my boots on at fucking dark and took them off in the dark. That's what I did for a living for 30 years before I started doing this shit on the side. Yeah. But because of what Hex is, I've been able to not have an agent and be free of all that bullshit out there. Now, tell me a little bit about what it's like in that world. You know, give me, like, spill your guts, man. Let me hear what it's like to be a crypto influencer that is influenced by people, money, agents, all that shit out there, and what it would feel like to be in our shoes versus having to deal with that. Because it all kind of blew up on you and imploded, and you're being attacked because you were part of that world. That'll never happen to me. All I get is an occasional asshole comes in my DMs and tells me he wants to slit my throat or whatever. But you've got to live on a daily basis with all the shit that's going on around you that you've had to get into. Explain that to me and tell me your feelings about it.
Well, certainly, my biggest problem, what I've seen, my biggest problem in life is I trust people. I need to stop. I trusted a lot of people. I trusted PAMP when they gave me that code. I trusted my business partner when I gave him the keys to the kingdom and had all the access to all my accounts. I trust people, and I've had to learn over time that people are bad. Some people are good. I tend to think now most people are bad from what I've seen. I can't imagine. I couldn't have imagined what would be done to me by so many people would be done to me, like a public lynching, in a sense. And the things that were, I can't believe what they're capable of. I'm shocked by it. And what you have to understand is that's the way I live my life, because I'm extremely honest. I had an affair and I was very dishonest about that. I lied about that. And that's the biggest lie I've ever told in my life, pretty much, since I went to rehab back in 2007. And
any man would.
What's that?
I said any man would, so don't hold yourself to some different standard than anybody else.
Right, but my point is, I'm an honest person.
You're admitting it. I get it.
Yeah, I'm an honest person. I did lie about an affair, and there's no way I'm not proud of that. I'm very ashamed of it for many different reasons. I'm not ashamed of my relationship with Cassie by any stretch, but I'm ashamed that I had an affair and it was public and the whole thing. It wasn't just not that I got caught. I didn't like it while I was doing it. And I just it didn't, I don't need to get into all that. But the point is, the point is that I'm an oversharer. I'm extremely transparent. I'm extremely honest in interviews. Pretty much any interview with me, I'm just as authentic as it comes. And so it's one of these things where I was just trusting friends. Like, just Ben.eth is a great example. Ben.eth is a guy on Twitter, and I was in a group with him, and he asked me to tweet about Bitcoin. I was like, okay, sure. We're in a group together. I didn't know anything about the guy. I hoped he was doxxed. I didn't think he was scamming anybody. And, he launched his coin. I tweeted about it, and then the price went to $1 zillion or whatever it was, or market went to 120 million. And overnight, I launched Bitcoin, all stuff, and not at all. I tweeted for a guy that I barely knew. I trust people too easy. And so when I look back at my career, I want everybody to know that I'm not ashamed that I did sponsored videos for projects. Okay. Because at the time, this was the business model that was laid out to me by the YouTubers that came before me. And those YouTubers, a lot of them, they didn't disclose those sponsorships. So I was disclosing, and that's one reason people attack me, because I was so honest about all the sponsorships. And I was trying to build a business, and I was doing the model. We made probably, I think we probably made about $3 million on sponsored videos. But I want everybody to understand what I'm about to say, which is I would take it all back and give it all over tomorrow to have never done one. And the reason is because, look, we made a lot more money on affiliate sales and private sale investments and other things. Our BitLab Academy, we made money on a ton of other things. We could have easily not ever done a sponsored video. And yeah, we might not have made quite as much money. We probably would have made more money because people would have trusted us more. And like our affiliates, people would have been not wanting to flock away from the channel if a project rugged or whatever. And so I don't believe, so I'm not ashamed of it, because at the time I didn't think I was doing anything I shouldn't have been doing. However, now looking back in retrospect, I've been very public about this. I haven't done a sponsored video for a project in over 2 years now. I don't do that. I haven't done it in forever. No coin that I talk about on my channel ever pays me. They never have. I do have some coins that are going to sponsor my fight, and I'm going to put some of those coins in my portfolio. But that's it. They're not getting reviews on the channel or anything like that. I don't do sponsored content for anything outside of exchanges and stake right now. So the point of all that is to say that I haven't done them in a long time. I made a video where I apologized because I realize now that it was the people, actually now even more so. At the time, I didn't realize it was the people around me like TJ and Justin Williams that were pumping and dumping. But a lot of the projects would pump and dump. That's the big con here, is that the projects get to go to the influencers and say, hey, here's this money to this video. Here's some money in Tether. Great. I got this money. Cool. I'll do this video. I'll give an honest review. I got paid in Tether. I got no incentive for the coin to go up. Do a video. Price goes up. Team sells. Who's the dummy? The audience and the influencer. And that is a model that is just, this is why they're like vampires. They leech onto these new influencers that don't know better. And I'm very protective of influencers. And I'm very friendly with the YouTube community. And, I always try to teach what I know, because nobody's been through more in this space than I have. And I don't want people to have to go through a lot of the mistakes that I made. And I encourage people not to ever do a sponsored video for anything that has a fluctuating price. Not because it's wrong, because it's a bad business model. You're going to lose with it. It's not sustainable. And the audience loses and you lose over time. It's not a profitable business model over time. What you need to do is actually build real influence. And this is what, look, in the beginning of my career, certainly people were offering me money for a sponsored video. There was a flat rate versus an affiliate rate or affiliate deal. I wanted to take the flat rate because I knew I didn't have any influence. I had hardly any subscribers and nobody cared what I thought. But that was not the way to do it. The thing is, you got to focus and build something that people want to come to. And you guys know with Hex how to do that, obviously. You're going to build something that people want to come to, and they trust you, and the stuff that you use, they'll use because you use it legitimately because it's helpful. And that's how you really how you can make massive amounts of money in crypto very legitimately without doing anything wrong and ever having to feel some kind of moral consciousness. Now, look, I leverage trade. If you don't leverage trade at all and you're pushing leverage trading all the time, that's a problem. However, if I leverage trade all the time on the side, I lose a lot. People saw I made $1 million in 2021. I'm definitely a very profitable trader over my career. Certainly, I've gone through some down times, but after 2021, I've never been unprofitable again. And so because of that, and that's a place where Richard and I kind of disagree, is he doesn't like leverage trading. And I think it's okay. I think people should they should be able to do what they want. It's part of decentralization. Like, look, if people want to do it, they should be able to do it. If it exists and it's, I
agree that people should be able to do what they want to do.
Right.
Is it something that I tell people to do or say is a good thing? No, I don't. And right. I would never. It's like gambling or drinking, ladies, liquor, and leverage, right? I mean, those are the three things that will destroy a man. So that's how I feel about it as far as being a voice of the community. But you know what, Ben? coming from you, the things that you've just exposed about, you know, being on the inside, I appreciate that. And I think that it was brave of you to actually get, I mean, we all knew that, we all thought that, we just wanted to hear it from somebody like you that, hey, this is a bag of shit back here that I'm dealing with.
It absolutely is. And you look at Rand from Crypto Banner and the stuff that they do by talking about all these projects. Let me give you all a little more insight. Let me explain to you the quid pro quo that exists within crypto marketing. And Crypto Banner and Rand Nooner is the king of this. There are others who I haven't named yet, but Rand is the king of it. Crypto Banner was a straight pump and dump private sale investment funnel during the 2021 bull run. Basically, what they would do is they would have all these projects they were invested in, and then they would have contests and they would giveaways and oh, these are all so great. Not even disclosing that these were private sale investments that they're already up 100x on and stuff like that. And this was the model of 2021 and 2021. This was the model. Here it is.
This was going on in 17, bro. We all knew this in 17, but I mean, yes, obviously.
Well, right, but this I believe, certainly with the ICOs, there were pump and dumps, right? However, I don't think the ICO and the private sale,
the refined business model of what you guys were doing as influencers wasn't there.
Point.
It was still there, and it was Telegram rooms, and it was private shit going on behind the scenes
and all that stuff.
You know, there'd be one Telegram here for the community and one Telegram back here for all the big investors, and you know, these guys would say, "Okay, dump," you know, and then you know, it was going on, but in a different, you know, and the influencers of the YouTube scene got sucked into that whole world. Oh, yeah. So, okay. So we've established that sucks. And what we've got over here doesn't, as far as founder, crypto, community, influencers. We've got a better model going on over here. So that all being said, and all the shit that you've been through and what you've seen crypto go through, the crap that you've watched, what do you think is going to happen next? Do you think that we are about to cross the Rubicon? Do you think that people like you are going to have enough of it and say, you know what, this is bullshit. There is a better way. We're going to go do it the better way with the people that are doing it the better way? Or do you think that we're going to see another version instead of the influencers, now that we've got all this institutional money that everybody's been clapping for coming in? Yeah, bring BlackRock into crypto. Let them all have our Bitcoin. You know, give it to them and let the institutions and the centralization have it. Or are we going to fight for DeFi? Are we going to fight for people like me and the Hexicans that are out here trying to build real grassroots organizations that are bringing real DeFi to the world? Or what's the next iteration of the bullshit look like to you? Or do you think we're going to cross that Rubicon?
Well, no, I think this is my whole plan. This is why I'm here. This is the epiphany that I've had. I had it last night. I'll just tell you about it, which is, and I don't want people to understand, okay? I saw a chat. I haven't been watching the comments because I saw a couple negative ones, and I just didn't, you know, I don't want to be off center, so I haven't been watching the comments. Almost all positive stuff that I saw initially, and then a couple guys, and one guy said, he said he's already publicly admitted that he's using the Hex community for engagement to pump Bitcoin. Sorry, my alarm is going off. My beautiful Duchess of DeFi. Okay, you're gonna have to do the math problems, baby. No. Yeah, you have to do the math problems. You have to get out your calculator and do the math problems, baby. No, it'll come back on for sure. Did you close it? Did you close it? Oh, baby, hold on, guys. I have an alarm clock, and when it goes off, okay, I think she may be okay. You know, it's gonna go off nonstop. It's on airplane mode. I have to do 8 complicated math problems when I get up, or my alarm will not stop. It's really helped me a lot because it clears the brain fog. It's a 2-digit number times a single-digit number plus a 2-digit number. I do 8 of those. Sometimes I do it in like 20 seconds. It's crazy. Other times when I'm a little more tired, it takes me like 2 minutes.
We need one that will give you an alarm until you stake your hex. That's what we need.
Yeah. So anyways, So anyways, I had this epiphany. And this guy was saying this in the comments I saw earlier about this. I want people to understand, I'm not asking you guys to come in and buy Bitcoin. I'm not. Certainly, I would love it if everybody in the world bought Bitcoin. That's great. That's not what I'm doing here. Okay.
Yeah, we wouldn't let you do it anyway.
What's that?
And we wouldn't let you do it anyway.
Well, of course, right? But you understand that's not what I'm doing, okay?
Yeah.
But what Bitcoin is about, it's about crypto adoption. That's what we're trying to push. We're building a platform, trying to onboard people. We want to have an educational portal. We want to have our own news where the stuff's transparent and honest instead of tilted and slanted in all kinds of ways like they did towards you guys. Policies and regulations. We want to make sure that that area is getting, that we're helping good candidates and we're showing people how to mobilize and reach out to their Congress people and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then public awareness, just making people know about crypto, right? That's what we're about. That's what we want to do. That's what our community strives for, and that's what we're working towards. And so that's what Bitcoin is about. I haven't said I'm using you guys for engagement. I think there's nobody out there that understands that mission and is doing it better than you guys. And I had this epiphany. So last night I was on the spaces for a while with Corey Costa and Crypto Coffee and some other folks. And I came in and Cassie and I were talking about this. And we're like, man, the Hex community, the more I get to know them, the more I love them. They're a great community. They're good people. What I've seen is I've just kept them at a distance. When you don't keep them at a distance, you actually jump in a little bit. You see why, right? And so we were talking about that a little bit, and we were talking about Bitcoin, and we were talking about our crypto adoption goals, and just hit me like a ton of bricks. Like what we're trying to do is onboard normal, everyday people to crypto, not to just come in and buy crypto. Because if people just on board and they just stay on Coinbase, they're not really doing crypto. That's not adoption. That's an investment, right? We want them to not only come into crypto, which Hex achieved by onboarding a lot of people, but also not only come in, but how to use crypto. And you guys cornered the market on that. You have such a wide slice of demographics. I have a lot of from what I've seen, a lot of blue collar people in Hex, a lot of hard workers, a lot of people that they're just as normal as can be. Except they like Hex, and that's made them not normal, apparently, to people. So what you find is
actually what made them normal. It's what brought them all together was the fact that Hex is true DeFi, that it is normal, that it is what normal people getting into crypto should want versus people who leverage and want to trade and number go up and, all of those, crazy things that end up in rug pull situations because they're getting pumped up and hyped up from that bullshit. This is like zero. This is delayed gratification land over here. We teach people like, hey, you ain't getting rich quick over here. This is about sitting down and waiting your time, waiting your turn, and no bullshit, and everybody, exit liquidity. No, when it's your time, when it's your turn, when you patiently waited out your time in this, then it's time for you to get out responsibly or to cash out responsibly, whatever it is, ladder out responsibly. So we teach those things here. And that's why the Hex community seems so normal, because we are normal folks trying to we're investing in crypto in a different way. This is more like Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett style of crypto investment here. This is delayed gratification.
Yeah, I think it's right. I mean, if you think about it, if you remember the Hex big payday and all that stuff in the beginning, it was delayed gratification from the very beginning. I think he kind of built that in on purpose. But I do think that you're right. This is true DeFi. And that's why I didn't understand Hex at first, is because it was the first DeFi. And I got,
and you know what, Ben, in your defense, you're 100% right, because that's the one thing that the Hex community, I think, doesn't give enough crypto folks leeway on, is that we know what we know because we've done our research, we've studied, we've got, and then we've got people like you who are living in this other world where everything, you're on pins and needles, you're dealing with people behind the scenes with other stuff. You are told to maybe look at this thing for a second, you get blasted by a hexagon or two, and it's like you look at stuff and you see scam. All the people you work with are saying Richard's a fucker, Richard's a fucker, and then you go, oh, okay, I got over here, I'm busy. And so you guys don't get to look into it deep enough like we did. Like some of us spent all of our COVID hours at home just diving in and researching and developing and talking with each other on how to teach each other about what Hex was and T-shares and all this. So we don't give the crypto community enough leeway to say, hey, give us a chance. to kind of figure this out. But it has been 4 years, so it's time for people to wake the fuck up.
I agree. That's the whole thing. I agree completely, and that's why I think it's time. Because look, people just don't understand the pressure of when Elio is coming out and saying it's a scam. And Elio is one of my good friends, and he's smart. I know he's way smarter than me when it comes to development and blockchain. He's just he's more intelligent. He's a developer, and he can develop. I think he is a developer. So who am I when I don't understand code to tell him that he's wrong? And that was just one person. I've used him as an example twice because he's like just the one that really comes up. I remember he was adamantly against him. There were
and this community blasted him a long time ago,
right?
Because he did do that to us, and we knew right off the bat when somebody talks out of the side of their neck like that, especially to us, and says the things that he said. And now that we know that he's influenced people like you, that really fucking fires me up because we knew he was full of shit.
I was a small YouTuber at the time.
I know he's your friend and everything. I don't want to speak ill of your friend, but we blew him off in this community because of the dumb shit that he did say about stuff that he should have known about, but didn't. And that's the fucking problem with the community out there. That's the problem with the rest of the influencers, is that they were influencing people like you because for some reason, whatever it might have been, whether they didn't like Richard, they didn't understand DeFi, they were either lazy or fucking assholes, period. So, and either one of those, you're guilty. So Elio pissed this community off like nobody else in business, so hopefully one day he sees the light too and, has his moment. He may or may not. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if he'll ever see it's an advantage to him to do that. I don't know. He's got his own career and his own thing he's doing now. And look, I want to say this. Elio is just the one I remember, but Elio was
a bunch of them, bro.
He wasn't the first. He wasn't the one that triggered it. He
was one of the biggest. He was one of the.
He may also have been influenced by something somebody else said the same way, but I don't operate.
And that's what I really wanted to know. Was there some backroom stuff that you had ever heard about? Was there some influence going on back there?
Not me. No, but people keep. But I think people see now. People keep me out of stuff. Because they know I'm honest and they know that's why this whole thing happened in my business. They were stealing money and doing all kinds of money laundering. And they knew that I was going to find out because I fired them and I was going to come in and get a new CFO. And we still haven't gotten the books. Hopefully Friday, we have an emergency hearing next Friday. Hopefully we're going to have a receipt for and getting the books. And it's because, they were doing all kinds of stuff. And, I think that I lost my train of thought. What was the last thing I said? What was the last thing I said?
You're asking the wrong person, man. We were talking about
because they keep me. Yes, people keep me out of stuff all the time. In my own building, people were keeping me out of the scam because they knew I wouldn't go along with it. I don't get asked to do stuff like that because if somebody hints around at something like that, I usually don't realize they're hinting around at it, and I'll say something like unequivocally like, "Oh yeah, man, people that do that are that's BS." Like I definitely never do anything like that, and really they were probably like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" Kind of thing. So people keep me out of that. And I don't know what there was I'm sure there was a Bitcoin maximalist official, not a coalition, if you will.
Yeah. Well,
Bitcoin
we know that from Tone Base's stupid fucking ass. We know that from him. Yeah, fuck that guy.
I know Tone. I like Tone
If there's anybody that you guys got to keep me away from is that son of a bitch.
Well, he's not a very big guy. I got to be honest with you. So I
don't give a fuck how big he is.
Well, he is about as big as ET. So you're not going to have a problem with him. And I'm not saying that to demean him. Okay, that's very demeaning what I said. I'm sorry. Tone, I'm sorry. That was very demeaning. But he is not a large person at all. So
he's not large here either. That's for damn sure. Or here. He has no fucking soul. He has no guts. He's a piece of shit as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, let's not get into that. I can go on and on. But
you're wrong for having strong opinions on people.
There are very few people that I do have strong opinions on. I usually give everybody the benefit of the doubt and give everybody enough rope to hang themselves. But that man hung himself from the very beginning. I don't know if you remember, Ben, but when Richard was launching Hex, like he had never been proven wrong, never been proven a scammer, never been proven anything. He was launching his crypto. Tone gets on, brings 2 fucking lawyers to grill Richard that day to tell him that he was going to jail for what he was launching. Literally the day the man was doing that, he gets on stream and does it. I was like, who does that? And these lawyers, they were wrong about everything they said. They acted so arrogant and right. And that just fired me up so much. And Tone, From then on I was done with his ass. So anyway, go ahead.
Richard crushed everybody in every debate he ever did. A lot of people don't know this. I'm gonna actually tell you guys something. Maybe I said it once. Hardly anybody knows this. You guys know I don't back down from anything. People know that, right? Like I have a problem with not backing down. I was offered a chance to publicly debate Richard Hart. They wanted me to take the position of Bitcoin, and he was going to take the position of Ethereum, which I wasn't super comfortable with those arguments. And I said, hell no. I am not going to debate Richard Hart. If there's one person out there that I would be afraid to actually go toe-to-toe and tangle with, it's Richard Hart, because he's literally undefeated. I feel like I'm kind of undefeated as well. It's been hard to get me on interviews. Even when the bankless guys try to get me, people always try to gotcha me sometimes. But I'm honest, so you can't get me. But I did not. I said no, I do not want this. Yeah. So, anyways, I thought that was pretty funny.
Well, and look, Bitcoin and Ethereum both have their place in crypto, and they get their respect. I give them that respect. But Bitcoin's old, dilapidated technology. It's had $3. It's time for us to move on. Crypto is the only space in the freaking world in technology that we're allowed to stay in the era of the toaster. I don't understand it. Every other technology in the world has been able to advance and welcome advancement. But in crypto, for some reason, you gotta like the toaster. Forget the streaming video. Let's stick with the toaster and try and watch our shows in the toaster.
Well,
I think that's where we're at.
I think it's a little bit. You're almost onto it, but I think it's more.
No, I'm right on.
Well, no, I'm gonna clarify your analogy and actually make it stronger even for you. I think it's more like it's not different items. It's just like different brands of toasters. There's one because the maker of the toaster is important, right? So Richard is the maker of this toaster. So we don't like this one, okay? This one over here, a guy that was big into Bitcoin made. We like this one. And so I think that really is kind of like the creator of the item is more important than the item. And you guys know that better than anybody. When you look at what you guys built, why were people not looking at it? Strictly because of who built it. That's the only reason.
Yeah, well, Richard built it, not us, but
right, of course, that's what I mean.
But we're talking about financial products here.
Yes.
Bitcoin does not fit every financial product's needs. Bitcoin fits, as far as financial products go, Bitcoin is gold. Yeah. They launched it as digital cash. Read the Satoshi white paper. It failed as digital cash. It will never be digital cash. It will be digital gold, and it will be the gold standard of crypto for some time still, unless something devastatingly wrong happens, is my opinion. Yeah. But anyway, well, perfect argument on that. We'll call that one even. Let's talk about something before we have to go here. I want to talk something real quick that let's try and bring this back together here. We've talked about enough differences. We've talked about enough. Hey, what kind of person are you? How do you want to be in this community? My one of the biggest things that I've been advocating for, and you know that because I talked to one of your people in the political realm of crypto, is advocacy within the government systems here. I've been to DC. I went out there and talked to the lobby groups. I got looked at like I had lobsters crawling out of my ears. It was right before FTX fell. They were all saying, no, centralized finance needs all our helps. CeFi, the centralized exchanges are the ones that need regulation. DeFi is evil. DeFi is wrong. They're going to get rid of DeFi anyway. This is where we're at. And then boom, the whole thing blew up in their face. And I was like, no wonder they were looking at me like I was crazy, because they were all getting paid to try and get centralized exchanges, their rules, their regulations, and their day. And that screwed everything up. So now here we are. Crypto is about to go on a bull run. We're about to have a split between true DeFi and centralization, as centralized as it ever gets. Yeah. Bitcoin mining pools are damn near a security risk at this point. All of the agencies are after DeFi. All of the big money houses you name it, BlackRock and all the rest of them are buying up all the Bitcoin. You see it too, bro. The wallets are going $3, $4, $5 billion a day in OTC trades. We're watching it happen in real time. I watched 2 billion move this morning alone. So it's happening right behind our backs. Now, we have to advocate. We have to come together. We need people like you and me and all of the rest of those fools that we've been talking about to get off of our asses and get into the lobby firms and start making change, because we're all about to make a bunch of money here in the next few months. And we've got to get our asses up and get into Congress, get into the lobby houses, and help save DeFi for the people, or we're going to lose this thing, man, and we will lose crypto.
Yeah, you're dead on. And that is what, so I did a video earlier today talking about my epiphany that I had about adoption. And we opened up, I don't know if the link's somewhere here. If not, people can go to the video on my channel and find it. I started my own Discord server called Ben Armstrong Crypto X Discord server, I guess it's called. But we have a room in there specifically that we're calling the Ben Hex Coalition. This is people from the Hex community and people from the Bitcoin community that want to come together and talk about how we can mobilize crypto adoption. And then once we come up with some ways to do it, like just what you're saying, go to the lobby firms. I want to do a video very soon where I call every single senator's office in one video and see who will answer and see who will actually talk to me and who I can get a real person with. I think that would be cool to show people. Maybe it's hard, maybe it's not, maybe some do, maybe some don't. Because this is what I'm about, is showing people we've got to mobilize and go out. Yes. We have to go do things. And so I'm all about this. This is going to be the room where we're going to kind of launch a lot of these ideas because I think the Hex community, I want the Hex community to come join there. And of course, it's a Discord server. I will never send you a personal DM, so don't get scammed. Discord, there's a lot of scams. If you're not comfortable with Discord, maybe you go research that before you come jump on. I don't want people to come on there and lose money or anything. But that's what it's going to be. This is going to be a place where we're going to talk about this stuff, and I'm going to be in there. I may not be in there every single day, but I'm going to try to be because I'm going to have people from our Bitcoin community. They're going to communicate with me exactly what's being said if I miss something that's important to make sure that we really are putting our money where our mouth is. And people are going to find out. Like, I know there's a guy in here. Oh, don't trust him. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I guarantee it. I always do. So I'm excited about this, the embrace I feel from the Hex community, and it's definitely mutual. The rejected influencer and the rejected blockchain coming together. But I do want everybody to understand. I do want to set everyone's expectations. This is what I want. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to talk about Hex, but my channel is overall crypto education, and we talk about a lot of different coins. I'm going to continue to do that. But Hex is going to be in that rotation more frequently than a random coin for sure. Obviously, because I'm now motivated to do more content around Hex. We have Hex and PulseChain price predictions, videos and rankings where I rank them other coins next week. I will say Hex is not the top overall coin. Okay, but I will tell you, I think people are going to be pretty happy with where I put it. So I think that the community is going to see that they are going to get exposure on my channel. Right now, obviously, I quit the live show recently. If I was doing the live show, I'd probably do a Hex segment or something. But maybe down the road, who knows what'll happen. But I definitely want to get the Hex community their exposure on my channel. But I am going to talk about other projects, and I'm not a maxi. Yeah. I'm not because
Ben, I don't think that's even being asked. There's a lot of people in the chat, a lot of people in the community that will say that to you. But that's not what we're asking for, really. I mean, what we want to see is a fair shake. That's all we've ever asked for, is a fair shake. Like, give us a fair shake. Absolutely. Give us a fair look. Let us expose what it is that we've got here. Let us show you what we've done. Let us show you what Richard created. That's all we've asked for. We just asked for a fair shake. Hey, these are regular guys. They've built their own community, and they've done really well. And the coin is never scammed. And Richard's a smart guy. Yes, we just want people to have a little bit of fucking respect for what it is that we've done. I mean, look, for instance, you're talking about politics. Nobody even knows that. But there is a treasurer in Nevada that was running for re-election, and he's a crypto enthusiast. And we reached out to him, and we talked to him, and we campaigned with him, and we helped him win his campaign. And he is forever grateful for us. And now he may be running for a higher office. And now I've been invited to talk to another treasurer of another state. And it's starting, the dominoes are starting to fall. They're starting to see true DeFi and they want to be part of it versus what they're seeing with centralization. Yeah. So this community is actually doing some work that people aren't even recognized. I mean, we literally got a crypto advocate reelected just with our little, community here.
That's the tangible stuff.
Yes.
Like that's when I'm talking about Bitcoin and crypto adoption. Like those are the tangible things and evidence that you're being successful. And congratulations on that. That's awesome. I didn't know you guys had done that. But I can promise you from now on, when you guys have some news like that, that's important people need to know about, you now have a megaphone. You now have, my numbers are the biggest numbers, but everybody knows, that I'm what my channel is and it represents.
Well, even destroyed, you're doing better than all of us. So
I know, like
that's off to you.
The best I could do in 3 months is about 100,000 subscribers. It's the best I can do. Right, I know. There's probably some people. Here's a funny story for you guys, real quick. A lot of people don't know this, but Carl the Moon. I don't know how you guys feel about Carl. He's a good friend of mine in real life. I think there's some things some of you guys may think about him that I think there may be some misperceptions because you don't know the whole story, I'll say. But Carl is a good friend of mine. But however, when I started on YouTube, I had about 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers, and he just started his channel, and he went from 0 subscribers to 50,000 before I hit my next 1,000, and I was depressed so bad about it. I was like, man, this guy's just blowing up. It made me want to quit. It made me want to quit because I was working so hard. And so I know some, how it must be for some of you guys to see, like, I'm out here working, I'm grinding on YouTube and I'm doing this, and the guy loses his channel and launches it back. He's already got 100,000, first world problems. I get it. But what I'll say is I'd encourage everybody out there that's making content. It took me 2.5 years before anybody cared what I said at all. There's a lot of grinding. There's a lot of work, and a lot of people didn't see that stuff. Very few people did because nobody watched. And so if you're out there and you're making content and you're dedicated and you want to hustle, you'll make it. You'll make it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Eventually people will recognize you. So
let me answer that too. Answer that, Ben. So the reason I get it fired up and I get it passionate about what I'm doing and saying here. You see the smile on my face? The smile on my face is because I don't give a fuck about YouTube. Yeah. I don't give a fuck about influence as far as getting paid or being, having a big channel. What I give a fuck about is to engage with people like you that do have some influence and change their hearts and their minds so that they can go out and take this to the world. I don't have to do this, Ben. You would fucking cry if you saw my bags. You would cry and go, fuck, I should have did what RG did.
Yeah, I guarantee I would. I guarantee I would.
No, I know you would.
I know, yeah.
Anyone would. Like, I'm in the top 1% of the fucking world as far as paper wealth goes. Yeah. That's what this has done for some of us. And that's not my issue. My issue isn't money. My issue is helping as many people as possible, saving crypto for the world, bringing people like you to bring attention to what we've got our hands on, to DeFi, to fixing the money problems of the world. It's bigger than bags to me. It's bigger than YouTube money. It's bigger than that. If I woke up with fucking half of you guys' money, I'd jump out of a fucking building. That's what I'm talking about, bro. I can leave this. I don't need it. I want to do this.
Yeah.
I want people to see this. I want my friends that are still sitting on their couches, taking off their fucking boots in the dark to get this, to be able to get free. I freed myself, man. Generations of my family are free. I don't need this shit, but the world needs this shit. And the world needs people like you, bro, to get up off your ass and start teaching about true DeFi. And now you can go ahead and talk about all the other things. We just want our fair shake, man. Yeah. We just want our fair shake. And you can help, bro. You can help. And I'll tell you what, if you do so and you're true to your word, what you said here, I'll embrace you. I will. I'll embrace you. And I hope that you would help us do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there is no turning back here. There is no, I'm here and then I'm gone. I'm here now. So there you go.
Right on. All right, Ben, bro, thanks for coming on. I hope I wasn't too hot on you, but I told you it was going to be easy. And, I wasn't going to insult you personally or take anything personally to you. I just want to show you our passion. This is the heart of the fucking community here, man. We want to do good. Richard wants to do good, and we need more good people So we're asking, are you going to be a good advocate? Can you be a good advocate? You know, we'll embrace you. They ain't all gonna.
I understand. I'm never in a place where everybody embraces me. Don't worry.
But most will. And I'll take the shit for the bad ones. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we got PulseChainTour.com, by the way, is in the chat. I just said put the URL. I will be.
I'll do a little bit of I'll do a little bit of housekeeping here if you don't mind waiting for just a second.
Yep, absolutely. So I'll definitely be there, and everybody will we'll get to meet and hang out and be in Vegas. It'll be fun.
All right. And Ben, what is your new channel that all the hex can go and subscribe to?
Ben Armstrong Crypto X.
Right on, right on. All right, Ben. Thanks a lot, bro. I'm going to finish up here and I'll be in there in just a second.
Okay.
All right, Hexicans. Well, I hope that we did a good job here talking to Ben. That's it, man. One of the biggest guys in crypto actually came talk to us and was honest with us, in my opinion, and gave us his, heartfelt words on his experience, what he's seen, and we'll have to watch and see what he does. I know that everybody's really excited about that. So let's real quick. Houston, Texas, Saturday, February 17th, Crypto Meets Real Estate Seminar. We're going to have speakers on both sides. Most speakers have spent time on both sides of the crypto and the and the real estate side. The speakers are going to include David Moondog Duff, Corey Gary, and if you're on the VIP, that's going to be over at Danny the Singer's place, and it's going to be very cool. And don't forget Vegas. Come hang out and meet Crypto Coffee, Matty Allen, RH Max, Black Hexagon, SJ, myself. 4 horsemen are going to be up there for you to talk to. Myself, Crypto Coffee, Hexologist, and dollar cost. Did I say that already? Dollar cost me and me. Oh, and me. 4 of us. The 4 horsemen, the first hex streamers that were on Discourse Syndicate that very first time, are going to be there for you to talk to. So come hang out with us. There are still a few VIP tickets left. Very few, like 3. So if you want VIP tickets, get your VIP tickets. But the golf meetup, Tough Golf for the first day is still open. VIP event for the dance hall party / DJ thing, all that's going to be open still. All that's going to be there for you. So go get your tickets, PulseChainTour.com, and we'll see you guys all there. Thanks for coming. Freaking love you, Hexicans. Take care. We'll catch you on the effing hangout in a couple of hours. I can't wait for some effing hangout tonight. It's going to be fun. See you guys. Why is Hex better than Bitcoin? Well, first of all, it's the fundamentals of code. The fundamentals of code are better than Bitcoin's. Inflation model is better than inflation. The staking feature is better than a mining feature. It's new tech versus old tech. Decentralized versus centralized. Yes, all of those things.